Hey guys, in this video we're going to be revealing the hidden design tactics that Passenger, the clothing brand, are doing to create a really high converting store. And the reason we do these videos is so that we can steal the ideas, right? We can add them into our own e-commerce stores and we can start to sell more. Let's look at the homepage now. So the homepage is, there's not a lot to it actually. The fact it just says sale and pushing into straight options, I'm not necessarily sure that's actually the greatest option. For someone like me who already loves and knows Passenger, that might make sense. But actually, I would also imagine that most of their marketing isn't funneling someone to this homepage. We're funneling them to a product page. So we can probably get away with this here. But if we have a look further down, we get straight into the new arrivals. That kind of makes sense. And then we see our best sellers and we're splitting them by gender, right? So we're going for women's or males. And then we also look at some accessories. So all of this works. Now, one thing that I always think is really, really important that we need to be highlighting, and I'll probably drone on about this in a lot of my individual meetings, but there's 3 ways that people navigate sites. And these 3 ways that people navigate sites in e-commerce stores, we need to do all 3 of these well to increase conversion rates. Now, the first one is what I've just done. The user scrolls down the page, especially on a mobile. They'll scroll down the page and they will interact with what they can see. So they've made the decision to not necessarily have categories in these sections. Instead, they're just pushing people into the best sellers. And that's obviously a decision that they've made. And that's something for us to consider. Most e-commerce stores actually push people to categories. So do you want to see jumpers? Do you want to see coats? They don't do this. They do it on best sellers. So that might be a nice experiment for us to be testing. The next option for us to look at is the menu system. We're going to cycle through, we're going to find the options that we want. How easy is it to flick between these? How easy is it to navigate through? These always work really nicely on the right-hand side as well for these featured options. We need to think about those, and they're really good. And then the third option that we need to make sure really works well, especially for e-commerce, is a search facility. So there's a couple of things here. First off, have a search facility. The second one is when I click on it, I'm going to type in fleece. And you'll see here that I'll type in fleece. Now, straight away, it's obviously not realizing what gender I am, which is fine, but it's giving me some suggestions at least. So, or I can just kind of continue to write in. And it's giving me options on the screen. So I can either hover from here. Really nice feature is I can quick add, if I just like the look of it, instantly from search, which is a really nice feature. Or I can search for men's fleece as well. So all 3 of these options work really, really nicely on that site, especially I think this search facility. I think it works really well that the cinnamons are also taken into account. So I always say this word slightly wrong, but a cinnamon is when you might have different words for different meanings. So for example, if I was to type in rubber duck, that might take me to a rubber duck that you would, like a kid would have in the bath. But if I type in bath toy, that should also show me a rubber duck, even though the word bath toy doesn't feature in the name or on the web or on that particular page. So it should learn that over time and what we're trying to do here. And that's a really, really key one. So next, we're going to look at the category pages. This is going to be a key one that people are going to come to, right? So as we look through this, a couple of things are going to be really key to notice is we have these lovely, nice portrait imagery. They're in situ. They're not just in a studio. I always think that makes a big difference. It's nice for you to see how they can be used. You'll see there's no main button on here. There's no button I've got to click down here. I can click on the entire item. Now that's really key because it means we can have a slightly larger image. We can focus on the imagery. It's the main thing. The user doesn't have to just click on something small. Because there's an interactive state as well, so when I hover over it, that's what I mean by an interactive state. When I hover over it, it's really clear that I can interact with that. The cursor changes, it makes it obvious I can click on it. I've also got this lovely quick add feature down here. I think that works really nicely. I'm going to get people buying as quickly as I possibly can. So let's just say for simple sake, I'm going to add this item now. So that's really nice. On the right-hand side, I then get this popped up to me, which is really nice. I can continue to shop. It's going to push me to try upsell. It's like, oh, you spent 74 quid, but if you just spend 75 pounds, you would have got free delivery. I think that's quite clever how they'll have priced that on purpose almost. And then I've got my options straight away to, like, I can check out securely or even faster, especially if I'm on a mobile. Do you want to use PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay? Those sort of things are going to work really, really nicely. Or, of course, as we're going to be doing for now, we're going to continue to shop. But these do work nicely. I can scroll down. The filters work really well. They pop out the side. Everything is nice and easy to interact with. Only show me stuff that's going to fit me. I'm a medium, let's say. So only show me stuff that's relevant here. These are little things that we sometimes forget to do and can work really, really nicely. So please, please do these. Next, let's have a look at a product page like this. I chose this one because I own this shirt, but there's a really nice couple of things that are happening on here. First off, I wish I bought this at the sale price, but we will get over it. But we do highlight in a slightly different color that it's on sale. We highlight that the price is different, which I think works really well. We've got a nice indication of kind of reviews. There's social proofing in here, which is so, so key. And then as I scroll down, what you'll see is on the left-hand side, the imagery is called parallaxing. And parallaxing means that actually two things are moving at separate points, but it appears like the call to action, the thing we want the user to interact with, is static, so it's always on screen. So as I scroll through the imagery, these are always on show. Now, there's a couple of really key things that I think the Passenger does particularly well to really drives up conversion rates. First off, obviously, parallaxing, always keeping this on show. But little things like this, that the model is 6 foot, you can kind of gauge how large he is, and I can see the overall size that he has. It's like, okay, well, I'm 6 foot too, so I know I should buy this in large. As I cycle on down, if I've got this far down the page and I've not bought yet, maybe I'm interested in some of the specifications. So they break this up really nicely. A lot of e-commerce stores, what they do instead is they combine it all in really, really tight. It's hard to read, it's hard to digest, and it puts people off. So again, lots of room to breathe, nice and simple, doesn't need to be over-designed. The size guides make sense as well. And I also think it's nice that they bother just to highlight, hey, how to measure it. If you're not sure what this means by chest size and this size here, let me just highlight to you really obviously that the size we're trying to indicate that you need to measure. Little things like this work really nicely. And they're even doing upsell options straight away to complete the look. I can buy the trousers right from here without even visiting them. I think this just works really, really nicely. So again, we're going to pretend this item. I've obviously already got it, but here we go. But hey, look, I've now got my free fast shipping completely free, which is good. And I've also got a free tree to order. So that's a really, really nice touch here. I can then obviously check out and we can go from there. So let's do that together now. Straight away, we're into kind of the classic Shopify appearance with some nice options here to add to cart straight from here. And I've obviously got my express checkout options. The classic Shopify page works really, really nicely. There's a reason so many people use it. And I would definitely, if you're unsure what e-commerce store to be on, we at Strafe build in a lot of them, but I do love myself a bit of Shopify. Lastly, let's have a look at mobile. Now, from a mobile perspective, again, I think this works really nicely. Rather than obviously the parallaxing that we had before, people are far more used to using their thumb, right? So they can just swipe across these like they're going to be used to. Or if they've got an interest in looking at a particular image, they can click on it. It's really nice to give that user the choice. Some people like to swipe. Some people want to look through for a very particular style of image. Some people are bothered, for example, about the overall fleece quality and want to have a look at it. Some people want to look at the zip. Some people just want to see what it looks like from the back or the front, right? So you want to cater for that. At all times, you'll see the add to bag is always on show, and I think that's a really, really nice feature. I can flick through the colors. Now you'll see here, if I don't hit add to bag, it says please select a color, please select a size. Now this is one thing, again, it's really simple, but I think it's a really key one that a lot of people don't do. And to be honest, sometimes on our own sites that we've done for our clients, we don't always do this so nicely. The standard approach that a lot of people take is if you haven't selected a size, you can't hit the button to add to bag. So just letting them hit add to bag and then going, hey, you need to select a size first. Is that better? I don't know. I think we need to test that as an option, do some split testing and see, but it's an option that we could consider at least. Again, we can cycle through, everything makes sense. It's really nice to see. And we've got our option to always add to bag and we can go through there. So I think on a mobile experience, it is always really nice. And again, I can still get to my cart. I've got my options to pay straight away on cart as well. And this PayPal looks a little bit strange, but I think that's just because I'm in mobile mode on the desktop rather than any real bugs that are here. And I've already managed to get my free shipping. But overall, a really, really nice site. I think the big wins on this Passenger site is how accessible everything is, right? Like the search options that they have just work really nicely. The user at the end of the day is going to have that split-second decision to decide if they want to buy or not. And we're making it as easy as possible from the search, the category, the product page to progress through. Even on the little page, where we had just an option to say, like, just show me what's in my cart at this moment. We're giving an option to buy there and then. It's little touches like this that are going to really drive up conversion rates and allow your e-commerce company to grow. And these should be things that we're all doing. And hopefully you'll agree, there's nothing crazy in its design, right? It's just really, really well planned out UX. And this is what great e-commerce is down to. Make it about the user, allow them to find the information they want to do. And this is how we unveil those hidden design tactics that skyrocket these conversion rates, just like Passenger do. Now, if you want to have a look at any of my other sites, you can kind of check that just over here. There's the most recent one that I've got on at the moment. You can have a look at that. Obviously, please subscribe. But more importantly, I'm always looking for additional kind of websites. And, they might be good ones, they might be bad ones. Let me know in the comments below and I'll check them out. Bye.